stupid they're doing. They're running us around.
Okay, for this one, I want to talk about this thing I call edge case marketing. And that is when, so you think about edge cases in the traditional context of, development and making something with software. You talk about edge cases as being, like niche requirements among a small group that you don't really want to consider because it slows things down. You can't satisfy all of these things, especially, the more general purpose your product is, the more things you're going to be seeing as edge cases. You're going to try to find those core things to satisfy and not be too specific in what you satisfy. And what I call edge case marketing is where you kind of flip over the perception of those edge cases. And what happens is the marketing department or people who are marketing a product, they recognize that people who use it have identified a real useful use for the thing, right? Or a real effective use for the thing. And so the marketing team latches onto that and uses that as a way to market the product to regular people or to regular users, people who are using it more in line with how they intended. An example of that is a while ago, I'm talking, 5 or 6 years, the iPad was recognized as being an effective tool for helping autistic children to communicate better. And I think there was quite a few news articles about this. And Apple subsequently released a video which you can look up, which featured an autistic boy who, was using it to communicate. And it was, it's a beautiful video. It's got the piano music in the background, and you can watch it. You can see what I mean. Like it's hard to not feel affected by it, to be who I am and to, have to find a negative side of everything. It's really hard for me to ignore the fact that Apple is latching onto something that they didn't create the iPad for. Sure, it's great that it has this really kind of powerful, profound effect for this edge case, right? Autistic children who need to communicate and have trouble communicating can use this device. But that's not what Apple created the iPad for. That's not what they continue to create the iPad for. And you look at the core user base of iPads, probably more creative people nowadays with the Apple Pencil and all of that. But originally the iPad was a couch device. It was watching YouTube and scrolling through feeds while you were watching TV and, having that nice bigger screen. It's been fighting for years to get out of this consumption device category and be more of a creative device. But either way, it's not an autistic communication device. That's not what it was created for. And so there's a little bit of a disconnection when they market the product using this very, beautiful story. They are also kind of hiding the fact that this is not something that the whole iPad team is focused on improving and building upon. So yeah, it's not. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that an iPad can do this. In fact, it's a great thing. I'm just trying to highlight the disconnection and the disingenuousness of Apple advertising it as if that's why they made it, or as if this is why the iPad exists.